All right, y'all. So we have made it to episode 6, and this season is slated to have 9 episodes total. So you know that things are going to get really real from now on. I'm excited to talk about WandaVision episode 6 from season 1. Let's do it. This episode started with the intro sequence, and the intro sequence is styled like Malcolm in the Middle, one of the classic 90s sitcoms. And what I want to note most about the intro is that it actually gives you a really good debrief on what is actually happening right now in Westview. And the lyrics to the song that is going along the intro as we go along are: don't try to fight the chaos, don't question what you've done, the game can try to play us, don't let it stop the fun. Some days it's all confusion, easy come and easy go, but if it's all an illusion, sit back and enjoy the show. Let's keep it going through each distorted day. Let's keep it going. Though there may be no way of knowing who is coming to play. These intro lyrics literally sum up where we are right now within WandaVision, within Westview. So when it says don't fight the chaos, it's speaking to Wanda's magic. And though we know that she has constructed this hexagon, she has constructed this little bubble that they're living in, created this whole world, we also have learned through the course of the last 5 episodes that she is not 100% in control. And her energy, her magic is chaos magic. And it's basically saying don't fight the chaos, and that some of this is it's out of your control, but don't fight it. The next line is don't question what you've done, and we actually see Wanda start to question different things and not register what's actually happening in the world of Westview, because she doesn't actually realize that she's in control of so much. Something that they touch upon in this episode, and Vision actually called to in the previous episode, is that Wanda may have created this place subconsciously and then went along with it. And I agree. I don't think that she is fully aware of all that she's done, but the song lyrics are saying don't question it, just keep going, don't let the game play you, and don't stop the fun. Those are like four very strong lines to surmise all of what we have seen in the last 5 episodes. The next line after that is some days it's all confusion, easy come and easy go. We have seen in the episodes there's been ebbs and flows where it seemed like Wanda knew exactly what was going on, was definitely in control. And then there's times where she was very confused. There's times where Vision is very confused. A lot of this episode we just see Vision trying to get to the bottom of what's happening in this world. There's so many inconsistencies, there's so many things out of whack, and this line calls to that directly. And then the next part says, if it's all an illusion, sit back and enjoy the show. And that's just a call to try to get people to just give in and to surrender to what is actually happening and stop fighting it. On the outside of Westview, we have S.W.O.R.D agents trying to fight Wanda, trying to fight this anomaly, trying to get this under control. Inside, we have the people who are under Wanda's mind control and subjected to all of this, trying to fight but don't really have much control over what they do and what they think, because Wanda's presence is so heavy on them. Vision is trying to fight the idea that they're stuck there and that things are okay when they're actually not. And you just start to see little bits and pieces and chinks in the armor of Westview. And the last line of this lyric says there may be no way of knowing who's coming to play, and that is just a call to Pietro, who showed up in last episode, who was actually played by Evan Peters and not the actual MCU character who was her actual brother in Age of Ultron, who died in Age of Ultron. That is the short breakdown of the intro to this episode. And in the matter of a minute and 30 seconds, we are caught up, debriefed, and back into the thick of all that is wonder, mystery, and chaos in Westview. The rest of the episode is given 90s realness, with the show in the show looking like a mix between Malcolm in the Middle and Married with Children. It's Halloween in Westview, and Wanda, Vision, and the full family are ready to partake in all of the activities. A small Easter egg is each of their costumes in episodes, as they are call outs to the characters' costumes in their original comics. Director Hayward is on a power trip and thinks that killing Wanda is the key to win and winds up firing Monica, Dr. Lewis, and Doctor Who for pushing back on his dumb plan. Monica makes a valid point that they don't know what will actually happen. He believes that killing Wanda will end all of this and it would just stop. But she's already created this big, massive force field, this hexagon, that they don't know is going to actually disappear if she dies, and doesn't know if it's going to get worse if she dies. So, Monica making that point is very, very valid. And this is the point in which there's a shift in the series for me. And I start to look at Director Hayward, like maybe he is one of the villains in this. I know we're looking at Wanda as the villain because she has now, basically is holding all of these people hostage in this town. But I don't feel like up until now we've actually had a true villain. We're like mad at Wanda for doing this and the people are in pain, but it's not necessarily that we have a true villain. And it's in this moment that we see that Director Hayward has other things happening. There's wheels turning in his head, things that he is not disclosing. And I feel like this is a setup for him to start to shift into be the real villain or one of the real villains within this series. And I say one of the real villains within this series because I also think that there are other forces at work within Westview. There's a reason why things are happening, like her brother Pietro showing up, and it's unbeknownst to her, because I think that there's something else, someone else controlling things and on a mission within Westview, specifically tied to Wanda and Vision's storyline. I don't believe that the Pietro that we actually see in this series is Wanda's brother. I think that he might be a mole that was planted by some other forces. Don't ask me what the forces is, child, because that is my theory, that is my guess. And so much of this series has been confusing. But throughout this episode, you can see that Wanda is also questioning, why does he look the way that he look? She quizzes him on different things from their childhood, from growing up, and things that only her brother would know, because she suspects that something is off or that this cannot be him. And for me, I think that that is a Easter egg, a very clear Easter egg that we would ideally throw away because it's so blatant and right in our face. But I think that this is a call to the fact that this is not really Pietro and there's something else brewing here. And I want to take a second to note, just like the Pietro in the series notes, that all of a sudden there's hundreds of kids in Westview. We went from yesterday, there were no kids in Westview. Vision even makes the note of why are there no kids in Westview? And now on Halloween, we're trick-or-treating, there's hundreds of kids. And Pietro actually calls Wanda on and like, hey, where did you get all these kids from? Were they just sleeping? You didn't have any reason to, bother them or to hurt them before, so you didn't actually bring them in, but now you need them for a part of the story, so I get why they're here. And Wanda looks all confused, but that's exactly it, because up until now, we did not see any children aside from the twins in Westview. Going back to Vision, Vision takes this day as an opportunity to explore Westview, and man, I want to call this place Westworld so bad. I mean, Wanda is controlling these people and has everyone playing roles, so it might as well be Westworld, but I digress. Back to Vision, who is not giving up on the idea of figuring out what is actually happening in Westview. As Vision stumbles through the outskirts of town, he finds hundreds of people just stuck and standing, almost as if they are waiting for someone to press play. This pushes him to fly above the town just to get a larger scope or view of what's actually happening. And then he sees a car that is parked at a stop sign right on the edge of town, which is lined by these large, like, spotlights surrounding the town. And when he goes up to the car, he finds Agnes, who is on Rolling Hill Drive, about to go on to Ellis Avenue. And Ellis Avenue is important because earlier in the episode, Wanda told the boys not to go past Ellis Avenue. So that is the perimeter, or part of the perimeter for Westview that she has set up, and she's aware of that. So to find Agnes on Rolling Hills Drive and Ellis Avenue means that she was trying to escape. She was trying to get out of Westview and was stopped by Wanda and is frozen in this spot. During the interaction that Vision has with Agnes in the car, we learn a lot. Vision learns a lot. One of which she lets the cat out of the bag that Vision is dead. Vision takes a second to free her mind from Wanda's hold, and in that moment, Agnes recognizes Vision, tells him that he's an Avenger, but Vision doesn't know what an Avenger is. So in this moment, we get confirmation that Vision has no memory of anything before Westview. She in fact brought him back from the dead, but doing so did not bring back any of their memories. The number one question that this brought to my mind is, if he doesn't know about anything that happened before he died or before Westview, then how does he know that he loves Wanda? How does he know they're supposed to be in this relationship? And I guess that that's something that's going to come out in the next 3 episodes. Before their exchange is over, Agnes basically starts to crack up, saying that there's no hope, all hope is lost, and to free her from this hysterical state, Vision just puts her back into the trance state that she's in. She makes a U-turn, goes back into town, and then this prompts Vision to try to push the boundaries and go out of Westview. Vision trying to escape Westview is the point of this episode. And to be quite honest, it was frightening. Watching Vision attempt to break through the barrier, see the S.W.O.R.D officers call for their help, they're just standing there watching him die. The more, with every inch that he takes outside the barrier as he pulls himself through the barrier between Westview and the actual world, you can see he starts to decay and die, which means that he cannot leave Westview or he will go back to being dead. As Vision is trying to escape Westview, Wanda, Pietro, and the boys are back in town finishing their trick-or-treating and Halloween festivities. As Wanda and Pietro are continuing to catch up, we get this really dope scene where they're walking in front of a theater that is showing 2 films, The Incredibles and Parent Trap, which are also Easter eggs. The Incredibles, as you know, is a Disney Pixar film that talks about a family with superpowers, and Parent Trap is a call to the twins. So I love that they sprinkle in a ton of little just filler Easter eggs as well that might not move the story along, but actually just gives you little points of reference and calls to. And in these sequences, we also see that the boys are coming into their powers. Tommy gets his super speed, and then shortly after, Billy gets his telepathic Wanda-like powers. And thank God they do, because it's Billy who figures out or actually hears Vision dying on the outskirts of Westview as he's trying to break out. He alerts Wanda, and because Wanda has to act fast, has to get to him fast, but doesn't necessarily know exactly where he is or what's going on, she chooses to stop everything and expand Westview. Yes, Westview is expanded in this episode, and we see it swallow up the S.W.O.R.D base, turning it into a circus and all of the agents into clowns, and subsequent areas around it like a car dealership and other little rural areas. So now we also get a better reference to what Wanda is capable of, because while we started out with the small town of Westview, there's seemingly no limit to how big the Hex can become. We end the episode with Westview continually expanding. Monica Rambeau, Doctor Who are racing to outrun it and not get caught up in it. So is Director Hayward. Dr. Lewis was chained to a Jeep right near Vision at the time, so she has been brought into the Hex. In next episode, we should see what actually happens to her. And we really leave on a cliffhanger. We don't necessarily know exactly where it's going to pick up. I'm expecting that next episode, the Hex will have stopped expanding and Wanda would have gone to find Vision. But we will see. I will post an episode 7 predictions video, so drop your theories and your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you would love to submit some things that I should definitely consider when planning out that video. Also, you can simply just tell me, what are your thoughts? What did you think of episode 6? I think that the series is getting better and better with each episode, and it's starting to really feel like the MCU again. So I am super, super happy. If you haven't already, catch my episode 5 recap video here, or watch all of the WandaVision videos from Erica Vane TV in our WandaVision playlist here. I'm your host, Erica Vane. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.